Hey, and welcome back. We are here at the Conservatory. I am joined by David, Bela, Francisca, and Lautaro, the composers and performers that you've just seen in the program. And we are here for a show and tell. So I'm going to explain the concept quickly and then we'll just go for it. So the idea is as follows. We asked our guests to bring something with them. And instead of having a formal interview and asking questions about the specific pieces we heard, take it a bit more broadly and ask the guests what these things they bring with them means, and from there the conversation starts. So let's dive into it. And I wanted to start with Bela, because I know you've brought something. I see something here under the table.
Yes. Everyone excited? Whoa.
Let me guess. Let me guess.
No,
Groove and poetry.
Yes. Well, this is already my concept here. I have it in my hand, and Francisca got it already. This is the embodiment of groove for me, because the shaker is just like this most simple and great instrument. You can just do like one sound, and then you have the other side of it sounds the same. So actually you have these two sides, and then you have to make groove out of it. But the other side, of course, I really love is poetry, and this is the book where I'm writing all my texts and ideas in, and compositions, and a lot of poems. So this is what I brought tonight. Actually, my whole concept of making music in these two little things here.
What a guy!
Indeed.
Yes. So there we are. This is also like really connected to my old studies and the world I'm coming from, with my love for funk and disco and groove music. And yes, what you just heard was also really inspired by groove-wise, actually, also by a Jamiroquai song. I think it was Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy.
Yeah, you know it?
No, I don't, but it sounds great.
Who knows Jamiroquai? Someone there?
Oh.
Guys, check it out.
Yeah,
Check it out. Definitely, it's so good. It's amazing. I love this music, and I really decided with some friends of mine from Hanover. Also with them, I played with them for a while, and great musicians. And I really wanted to try out actually to make projects over distance. Of course, what else can we do at the moment? So I tried out to make the concept working over distance, and there we are. We had this funny little humorous beginning. I hope you liked it.
Yeah, definitely. So just to clarify, the musicians in your video were the ones you studied with in Hanover.
Yes, and friends of mine. Yes, the saxophone guy was in my ensemble as well. Lawrence, amazing saxophone guy. I love you. And Ruben was the singer I got to know really well for a long time, but I never did a project with him, and I loved his lyrics and his poetry as well. So I asked him to join my song. I had the song already played a bit, but not like in this form or performed like this. And we chose to make a funny video to it and tickle out the erotic factors in it and the 90s vibe, and embody some groove there. That was the idea.
Yeah, cool. And I see it's old, no? I mean, can I...
Yes, please go for it.
It's falling apart.
Yes, it is always.
Nice. For how long have you had it?
Unreal.
I feel very old.
You can check it.
It's falling apart.
Yes. Actually, I write dates in it, so we can check it.
Okay.
We can definitely check it. So the first date, 26th of October 2017.
17.
So quite old actually. It's actually not my only book. It's like one of many, but the one who's in my favorite color. So.
Okay. So multiple like poetry books in parallel.
Do you differentiate when you choose to write on one and the other?
Sorry?
Like if you write on that one when you're feeling yellow and you write in the other one when you're feeling blue, or
No, I've written this one when I feel old. Because no, actually, yes, I think this is like the most. They have different titles actually. Also, these titles are das große gute Ganze is it called? It's like maybe the greater good. You could translate it.
The big great togetherness.
Yes, actually the big great togetherness, exactly. So it's a lot about philosophical thoughts, actually. So like the fundament of why I do music. So this is in here and really written down in different concepts of how I experience music, but also time and why I really want to study at that place and why I came here. So this is all here. There's a page, for example, Amsterdam. I'm here. There it is. Normally I'm fast in finding things here. Let me see if I can.
Precious.
Yes. Go for it. It should be quite late because I'm not here for my husband. Yes, but of course.
See some rhythms?
Yes, some rhythms, yes, of course. Some sounds here. Oh, we have a new light.
Atmosphere change.
Yes, the setting is good. Do you enjoy the setting here?
why doesn't it shake?
Yes, she's shaking
No,
to
for
make
the
the
lights,
lights,
for the lights.
on, actually.
Yeah, it was nice of us. Right?
Yes.
Good point.
I'm so sorry, I don't find it. Yes, whatever.
Don't worry,
So-
not
Show
sure.
me the index.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't find it nice when it's dark?
No, I liked it when it was darker.
Oh no, I thought Bella said. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Anyway, like this.
Yes, so this is like the philosophical side and this is the groove side of mine.
Okay. And is that also something separate or parallel for you, also in music?
That's a good question actually, because I really thought also about it. I'm new here, I'm not a graduating student like these two over there. I really thought about what is the first piece I present here, and I planned on our NMAs, the music arenas, last year a beautiful setup acoustically. It reminded me actually of your music a little, Lautaro, like really intimate, really acoustic. And last year NMA I planned it, and then Corona didn't allow the musicians to come over. So everything fall apart, and then I planned another project with church organ, really chamber music and opera inspired. But it didn't work out so as well because of different circumstances. So I decided to then there is the time for the group music. I decided so let's make it funky then. And this was the first one. Now I'm really curious what you'll think of my other things then, because I really have these two sides of groove,
The groovy things,
yes,
and then the more serious things.
yes. When you want it like this, a teacher actually asked me about it. Is it serious? What you do in the in your music, in your serious music, because it's also like super dramatic. I'm really a dramatic guy, and my humor works like this too. Like the video is really over dramatic. It was like too much already, so it is already funny. So this was the intention. I didn't know if it would work, but So he asked me, is it also humor in your serious piece? That's a really good question, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yes? No.
If it's like a choice, am I gonna make a humorous piece or am I gonna make something serious? And whether it will stay that way or that's something that will find its way later on or really comes from the material itself. I wonder.
But how about your music then?
You always choose, Frieda? If it's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, because for me, I never choose that. I just kind of do
Exactly.
something and then that's that, you know?
But you have a lot of humor as well in your music, definitely.
It's dark humor. Like,
Yes.
when you said, everyone said that, like, love is only for mothers and dogs, but my dog is dead, something like that. Like, I didn't laugh, but everyone laughed, and it's kind of funny.
But that's true.
That's just your interpretation.
Exactly,
No, actually, good to talk
Humor
about
is
that.
interpretation too.
That lyric in Spanish sounds more a bit lighter for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it's
Yeah.
funny that Portuguese, Spanish, or Latin languages, Spanish more kind of lighten up more. Like if you say love is dead for mother than for whatever I said, it's way heavier in English.
Normally
Yeah.
it's the opposite actually.
Really?
It gets stronger
Actually.
with Latin languages because they
Yeah.
are, well, I find them more poetic and more
Yeah.
easy to create metaphors. So I think every word has a strong connotation or a strong energy attached to it. So I disagree with that actually.
But in
But
this
in
case,
that
you
case,
agree.
in that case, I can agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Do
know.
you think English is light?
I think it's lighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of the English we listen and we use, it's a standard, so we lose a lot of words. And sometimes I give a try on translating literally from Portuguese to English, and I'm right, but it sounds like archaic or like I'm speaking as a physician. Yeah, I think so. I think it's less poetic in a way.
What do you think of German?
Yeah,
No idea, I don't speak it.
Yes, but
What do you think of German?
yeah,
I think it's great.
It's wonderful.
I love it.
he wants to learn German.
I think it's so
I
beautiful.
thought you were into French now.
No, French is first and the German's after.
So that is how it is.
Yeah, that's where my favorites lie, you know.
Hmm.
I have my priorities.
I see. But Dutch first, right? Dutch is the
Well,
first.
Dutch, I just surrendered myself to it, you know. It's not like I'm a pretty submissive guy.
I see.
Just said, okay,
Submissive
take me
guy.
as I am.
Yes, I see.
I'll Dutchify myself. Even though you don't need me to or want me to, I will Dutchify myself.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Because I perceive German really also as a poetic language, or with the potential of being really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what is about Dutch then? Because maybe this is the more interesting question. Because I really have now I start to understand the conversations because I know German and it's super close. And when I like directly translate my German text in the words which are all also really similar in Dutch, it is definitely not poetry anymore.
Poetry anymore. Yeah, it's true. I also feel that the languages react very, very different to poetry. In Dutch, things tend to be, for my feeling, very quickly, very dramatic and, whoa, calm down, you know? And I think the strength of Dutch poetry, I find, lies in using everyday language in that context, and I think it's very, very strong in that. But I do definitely agree that languages react completely different to poetry, or what works in poetry and how it comes across and how dramatic it is, or like you said, how dark or evil it sounds.
I just think it's tricky when also sound is not involved. Like if it's a song and we listen with Bela as well. Like, should I look at the camera? Hey, camera. Like we listen with Bela, it was like you get the German and then you also get the English, so it's nice. But if you just read the English text, also with my thing, it's kind of like why would I read this? I kind of feel that way.
Yeah, but actually, we watched your text really closely in English as well. It was really interesting and also really touching.
That's how David's doing.
Okay. Oh, you translated it.
Wow, yeah, we did it together.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Also have my buddies which are translating with me together. It's important.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it? If it's a question for you then.
About what?
About the translating of texts.
Well, I thought his text was very well translated.
Yes, but it's actually, it is a discussion that is worth having, whether not understanding a language that is sung withholds you from getting anything, and if you then translate it so you do get that back, is it the same or is it not?
Yeah, I had this experience with Bela. I think I found the middle part boring when I didn't have the text, but from the moment I had the text, because we were I was helping him out mixing, and I was like, oh, maybe this part's like, it stays in this one climate for a long time. But then with the text and the video, it works out because you get the content of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in these parts, I feel that this happens a lot in German languages. This very philosophic, long sentences, explanations. I think we just love it. And there the power really is in the words and how you choose the words. So I can imagine that there it really makes sense to translate it.
Yes, it was super hard to translate them. Definitely, I had also help from a how you say, language speaker.
Native. Yeah.
From a native, who was so happy about that because I also choose different words for the stories, because when you just translate these words, it's not sensible. Or in German there are so many like mixed words, like this a part of this word and a part of this word, and then there is a strong sense in it, but it doesn't work in another language.
Yeah.
But this translating is really a topic for that for itself. Also in movies, when you like, German has such a strong culture in translating
everything.
Translating everything, every language, even fitting to the mouth movements, and it's so impressive how they work with this emotions there, and all the sense is different. You cannot do it with the same sense. You have to find a different story in the story.
A new one. Yeah.
Yes. For example, in my piece, it's really obvious because there's this. I don't know if it was obvious. Tell me. But there's this dream world and this world of being awake. Kind of the groove music is like the world of being awake, and actually. With the desire of I really want to dance, and then there is always this dream world where I dream about the moment where I'm dancing. So I'm dancing in a club and people are around me, and but also strange things happen, like colorful dogs around me, and I start to dance with them. Yeah, like little crazy. So this, but for example. Hans im Glück. This is a figure, a poetic figure in Germany in the story. So I had to find a translation for that.
Really like a folkish.
Yes.
And it's just a tradition. You cannot really translate.
Yes, exactly.
All the context that comes by just saying that one name.
Yeah. But Hans im Glück is like translated as Hans in luck. Like this is the direct translation.
Yeah.
So I choose for Lucky Luke. So it's just
of
another
course.
figure,
but that's nice.
Yes,
it's nice when you find something that works.
It's just another thing to explain the idea behind it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so this was the groove in the poetry, and we'll discuss the other two items we have right after a short intermission. So see you in a bit. Hello, and we are back at the show and tell of the Composers Festival 2021. Reminding you of the year we're in. We're just getting David back inside. Yes. So, first of all, I want to remind you of the chat box. Please, if you have any questions for the lovely people here, write them down. We will answer them in a bit. This is your chance. And then I wanted to move on to the next object brought in. And Francisca brought us an illustration of yours.
Yeah.
And I have it here so everybody can see, and I think you'll also be able to see it on the screen.
Appreciates the hit industrial.
A workout snare.
Yeah, it's a workout snare.
You can be a strong cow.
Yes, be a strong cow, yes.
It's the ultimate workout for industrial people, I guess.
I see.
Kill them with stereo image to okay.
Yeah, it's the temperament machine.
Is there a rhythm on the snare? No, it's just.
No, it's how you should work out.
Ah, but it's written on the snare. How you should work out.
No, that's just a cow pattern. Yeah, I would say. I'm not really an illustrator. Maybe I should say that. But in the end, I do illustrations, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Lots. It's this mix of advertisements for these very commercial things, products, of course, but then also working out because then you become a better person in these kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you.
No, I think that's part of my sense of humor too. It's also bringing the cliche and use it in a more creative way, or like you wouldn't understand my inner world probably, but I'm showing you with a cliche, then you have the clue to understand it better or to be closer to it. And I think it's how I manifestate it, even in my music. Like sometimes I use nostalgic stuff just to get you closer to my sound world, I would say. And here actually I combine stuff that I already did, like the temperament machine that it is in a small note. I think I did it, I don't know, a few months ago. Now I don't really remember. So the temperament machine used as the stereo image. I am that kind of geek that uses these very niche things. Of course, you as a producer, you understand what is the stereo image, but the other person doesn't understand. But I need to express that and give it the name of temperament machine, because sometimes I would like to change my temperament, but I don't have any problem to admit that I do have a temperament, okay? And I'm getting red. But anyways, I'm speaking to love, maybe? But I don't know what to add to this. I actually included these when I released my EP Funeral for the Selves. So that was meant to be given to you with a booklet, and then I decided to also include a small illustration. This is not really part of my inner world as described in Funeral for the Selves, but it's also part of my other side of inner world. I don't know, many worlds inside.
The other side of inner world.
I mean, it's like I used to have a conception and a visual side of my inner world, but of course it changes, and I think I found out that whenever a big phase of my life finishes, I need to seek for new characters and new contexts, and that already happened. Like I met Cassandra, and well, this is another introduction on Sunday. But I mean,
for who Cassandra
yeah,
is.
but I mean, whenever I finish a big project, or I don't know, a big phase of my life, I need to find a new visual side in my inner world and new characters, and maybe be themselves.
There was another character, like Mademoiselle Senior.
Manel Senior. But that was long ago.
Manel Senior also had cow themes.
The cow thing started with Manel Zinho, I think. Well, I was already a cow lover, and Kaushik Zim, it's my artistic name, so I was already a cow lover, and then I met Manelzinho, my alter ego,
Or ex-alter ego, because he said...
I think he stopped paying the rent to my head, so he left.
But he's not
Manelzinho, um beijo para ti, querido. No, he's not dead. Why are you confiding that to me? He's not dead. No, not at all. He just left my head. Maybe I was a bad landlord or landlady, whatever you call it.
I love the
And you know that they increased the rents this year, and maybe I did it too. And my head got a bit expensive for him. Anyways, he's still a child, so how can he have money to pay? You know?
Zé looks pretty expensive though.
What is better?
Zé here, the character.
Zé looks pretty expensive.
Looks like
Zé Rede Industrial,
Yes.
but Zé Rede Industrial is not renting my head. That's the difference.
No?
My alter ego, because it's a real person, this is just a character.
A character you created.
But it's not.
Because
It is. But I'm not going to be a Zé Rede see the difference. I can metamorphosiate, if that's the right word, into Manelzinho in Cassandra, but I won't do it with Zé Rede Industrial because I can see him in a Romaria, in the pilgrimage, as I call it, the title of my life set, Romaria de Sampaio. I can see all this queer party and I'm playing at that party, but I'm not going to be Zé Rede because there's no way.
No way.
I don't know. I don't feel Zé Rede I feel industrial. I don't feel Zé Rede industrial.
What was so you about Manelzinho then?
What was so me?
what?
No, because you said Manelzinho was your alter ego.
Yeah.
Meaning that you saw yourself in Manelzinho, right?
Not
No.
really.
Or no?
No.
No, you don't get it, David.
No, I don't get it.
But I didn't say
I'm
that.
sober as
Did I?
I come. I mean, no, of course I don't get it.
Of course, there's things that we can link between each other. And of course, I can see some things of myself in him and the opposite. But no, it's just the need to matter. Yeah, it's really coming out as Manelzinho, and I don't feel the same. It's just a question of feeling that you have to be.
Francisca's
I
a
can be
contemporary-
Cassandra.
Contemporary pessoa.
Everyone says that, but I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know if I am.
I mean, everybody says it on their shows.
I actually don't know. I think it's very Portuguese, and we come back to the question, to the topic of languages, because I think Portuguese also helped me to get my identity and find what I am as an artist.
Does that happen here or in Portugal?
In Portugal.
In Portugal.
In Portugal, yeah. But when I moved to here, to Rotterdam, actually, that got even stronger. That notion that the language had such impact, and my roots, where I was born, and my grandmother, all these small stereotypes. Because I'm also an observer, not a comedian, but there's a part of being a comedian that is being an observer, and I'm surely being an observer.
I have a question.
Tell me, sorry, I'm speaking too much.
No, it's perfect. So you have alter egos and characters, and I'm wondering, because you put now this character into a visual representation, do you have characters as well in your music, in your live sets?
I have, but sometimes I'm not really imagining a story like, Zé Rito goes until there, and there's sun, and a big tulip. No.
So more abstract.
It's more abstract, and I think because it's that abstract, music conveys the most to express those stories and use the best structure or whatever. That's why I don't use words to tell these stories. It's a different language. It's not universal, but it's a different language. Yeah.
I also got a sign that we have a question of the audience.
Oh, where did this guy
Cara, que me quer perguntar.
Oh,
So I'm going to just summon that. Let me see.
Since when is that allowed?
To summon questions from the audience. Okay. We have a question from Nuno. Francisca.
Precies.
Momento da verdade.
He says, I love Romanias.
Romarias.
Thank you. Who doesn't? He says. So how does Zerrito Industrial got inspired by that? So how did he come out of that? And also, does this utopian Romaria has pão com chouriço?
Pão com chouriço.
So bread with...
Can I answer to Nuno? Nuno, é claro que tem pão com chouriço. Tem banca com queijo de lamego. Tem a senhora Armelinda vendendo carvaca e toda a doçaria. Cavacas, meu? Anyway, I need to say, because there's many things to say in Portuguese. Definitely a tanga, tá bem? A tanga também está lá. A tanga neon.
You know what a tanga is?
Tanga, I got, yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I really needed to say this.
I only understood bread with sausage.
It's like speedo.
Pão com chouriço,
Yeah.
but it's not sausage, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I understood the first question. How did he came out?
Yes, how is he connected to it?
Yeah.
I suppose.
So actually, Zerrito is a fisherman from Torreira. Sampaio. When I said Romaria, the Sampaio, it's Sampaio of Torreira, that place, which is close to where I was born, and it's a village that I really love and I feel connected. So Zerrito is a really real fisherman from there, and I don't find anything queer in that place, nothing is queer in that place. It's just that my imagination is so... I'm not an optimistic person, but I get optimistic when I create these utopian scenarios, and it's like, oh, imagine Torreira full of queer people and using their kanga. Yeah, I don't know how to translate this, but you know what is a kanga, to put in the cows to unite them, to join them, you know, to go fishing, So
fishing with the cows?
Yeah, that area used to use cows for fishing to bring the nets.
Ah, the nets, okay.
Yeah, but they also have a specific type of cow which is called Marinhoa. And now they are not used for work, but also for the land, for the fields. But now they are just domesticated and they are actually disappearing. Poor cows. Coitadinhas, amigas, vocês vão aguentar.
So this character was like grown out of this environment where you like imagine things into it.
Yeah, I mean, I just go there and I imagine like this bar is where the after party takes, and the overall energy it's very special to me. But imagine. Like the perfect world to me, it would be that I could play my music or this type of music, not my music necessarily.
In a spot
so
like that,
I'm just appropriating a thing that I really enjoy and put it even closer to my world. Yeah, it's a question of having pleasure. So right, you have pleasure with this. You put more things, you have more pleasure. So it's sort of.
So you're actually
not the best
combining.
Analogy.
So you're actually combining the place you're coming from. Physically, with the place
My
you're coming
know.
from mentally.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that.
Nice.
And that explains also the usage of cliches and minor world. So
cool.
Yes.
For the cliches, that was such a interesting topic, Charlie, because you said I used the cliches to attract my audience. Kind of to
give you clues.
Yeah, to give clues.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you? Because I do it in a different way too, but I'm so interested in that topic.
What you are asking? What are my tools? Like, what are the types of cliches, or not really?
Yes. What
I don't know. My music in the past used to have more sense of humor, and I would say that would be the easiest tool to get you closer to my inner world. But now maybe it has humor, but it's not conscious. So, well, if you love, you love. But I don't think so. Also, it got more emotional. So, I think for now it's using some main formulas of some genres, but not really, because
Okay.
it's hard to tell you. Like maybe it's just a nostalgic feeling. Maybe it's a melody that you don't know where you heard, but
A catchy melody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But
then it's in a weird synthesizer. So
okay, but
with
you
weird
choose-
percussion.
okay.
One last thing, and then we go for the next object.
Yes, of course. But you choose, for example, a synthesizer, and it remembers you, or it is a typical sound for a direction of music, like for industrial or something. So you choose it and build it into your music to make the audience of industrial music listen to your music.
I don't really think about the audience while I'm composing.
Yes, okay.
Actually, I'm not.
So maybe this is also like a separate thing.
It's
Music,
also part of
and then
myself.
in the illustration, it's a different approach, maybe.
No, I mean, no. The cliche is always there. I think it's just who I am, and it's not a way itself to approach the audience or to make it approach me to my music. But I know it works, or well, I hope it works. But I think it's also my sense of humor and the way of being. Like I like to combine cliches with this,
Yes.
and that's cool because also people can understand it better. So
Yes, that's quite
it's
similar
good.
to me.
It's both sides. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
Your topic anyway. But I see something there, and I'm extremely intrigued. David, could you please tell us what you have here?
Well, I'd be very glad to tell you about what I have
Thank
here.
you so very much.
I'd like to bring it to a camera, but I don't know which one's more deserving. Which one is pointing to one? Maybe I go to two. The camera two. This is an object I bought at Sexy Land one day.
Sexy Land.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's a venue.
I like sexy.
And that's where I met this really nice artist named Monica Mays. That's where I met this really nice artist named Monica Mays. And yeah, we met because I saw her object, actually, that they all made objects to sell. And I saw this object and I thought, I have to have this. So I bought it and we became friends. But yeah, you know, and it was wrapped in plastic as well, like a toy. But then the child in me was so excited to, you know, interact with it. So then I ripped the plastic off, which the adult in me kind of regrets now because, you know, plastic was, I think, part of the thing, of course. But you know, now I'm actually now I can interact with it. But I think it's better with the plastic. Anyway, yeah, it's whatever you want it to be, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it's a bit decorative, but you know, some people don't like it in the house, and then they put it in my like little drawer under where the bed sheets are,
Under your pillow.
and then or under the pillow, and then I take it out and put it somewhere else,
why
and
do you-
then I put it, you know, under the bed sheet again, and you know.
So many questions.
Yeah, why do you think people put it in a drawer?
Because it's not nice to look at.
Why is it not nice to look at?
What is it then for you when it's not nice to look at?
It's not mine. It's not me putting it.
Oh, how?
Well,
what
he's
would you-
speaking for someone. That's the thing.
He's
Who are you
speaking-
speaking for, actually? What do you want me to do?
We're inviting you to take a
To
seat.
say
Take a
it,
seat.
yeah.
Take a seat, David.
more convenient-
I think it's
more
the
convenient
animal.
for the-
I think sensitive people don't appreciate animal legs in an eating place.
That would be the only time you could shake hands with a sheep.
But does it have is it like a rabbit tail that gives you luck?
I mean, I think this can. Yeah, sure.
May I touch
I
it?
don't know. Yeah, sure. You can pass. I can pass it around. Is it like a rabbit tail? Maybe it is, but you've never touched it.
But that's
so.
real, right? They are real legs.
Did you glue some ice here?
No, this is Monica Mays' object.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Okay.
I don't
It has
do anything.
eyes.
I just own it.
It
You
has
know?
eyes.
I just own it.
Definitely makes it weirder.
Wait, it has eyes?
Yeah, you
Yes.
never saw it?
No.
Crazy.
Did this ever
Now we have the chance.
did this ever concretely inspire you to write a musical piece?
No, but I mean, this is pretty representative of how I think, I guess. If I could say that.
I'm really going to touch, okay.
I want to hear more about
Maybe
that.
it's the first. No, it's not the first time.
Yeah,
I've
I
touched
think,
it.
I think that I think this is
No.
a quirky but very special gem. And,
Okay, return.
yeah, that's I guess that's what I think of my music, right?
Ah, yeah.
Repeat it. Sorry.
No, I think it's a very quirky and special item, and somehow it inspires me.
Do you play like it?
Do I play like it?
Yeah. In the
Well, I
style
do
of-
think that whatever I do is quite disjointed in thought, and a sort of seamless tying together of seemingly unrelated ideas. So maybe that's the theme here. That's not.
That's not, yeah. No, I mean, it is definitely translatable. I feel like the way you can view an object of art, that it can be translated, or the way it is put together, the way it's constructed, can be translated to another.
But let me be clear here. I brought this because I really like this, not because this is inspirational to me.
I think it's nice.
I think everything I
Yeah.
have is inspirational to me. I mean, it is what I have.
But what about her view now on that? I mean, she interpretates it like that. I mean, she interprets it like it inspires you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does. It does. No, but the thing is that you're thinking about specific objects and their direct translations into a piece of work.
It doesn't have to be direct.
It doesn't have to be direct, but I never really think like that, so then I'm just a bit cautious to go that direction. That's what it is.
No, but it makes sense. Like you say it's the way you think, so that will also, of course, like seep into how you create.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes the household more like if we would have a sitcom in our house, it would be nice to have this because it makes it more. I don't know.
Yeah, to avoid some energies, feng shui.
No, just something you can say. Oh, look, something that you wouldn't see, and just
Yeah, that's
another
unexpected
house.
actually.
You wouldn't go to the house. Maybe they would have it. I don't know.
So do you have something?
What?
This is the question, right?
No,
I didn't bring anything.
no, you didn't bring
brought me.
anything. But
I brought
exactly,
David.
you brought David. That was quite a choice. No, great. I had a question because it was very clear that the music we heard today was not concert music. If you were to compare it to what we saw yesterday, for example. It's a weird way of describing it maybe, but this is music that we want to be consumed, I think, in different ways. And I think it would be a nice last topic to think about, or to talk about, in what kind of ways, so how, where, and in which way do we want our audience to consume the music.
So, and related to my music specifically, or related to the whole concert?
Start with yourself, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, I just it's not concert music. It's music that comes from the pop world, popular music. And I think what I like about that is that was always a very natural way for me to making music, just grabbing a guitar and writing a song. And that's how I started listening to music as well, with records. Just listening to a record. And that's something I really like. it's not the case of this live stream, but I think you asked how kind of I want people to consume my music. I like the idea of like them just having a CD or Spotify album. They can just listen to it, and that's how I consume music. And that can seem very bland, but I like that. Like, there's music I listen to every day at work or every day at home, and it becomes kind of part of my day-to-day life, and it kind of tints everything I do.
It accompanies. Really.
Yeah, and that's more interesting for me than going to a venue and listen to something once and then forget about it, go home, continue. That it becomes part of your day-to-day, and then if you go to a concert and see it, it's so much more meaningful because you live with it for so long.
Yeah, it's already been part of your life.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I see now that part of consuming music, I guess. But maybe Francisca has something to say about this. Well.
Actually, yeah, I never thought about it. I think I'm that kind of person too. Although I don't have anything against of going to a concert and listening to something for the first time. Yeah, of course. But yeah, indeed. I think since I was a teenager, I was this person like, oh, now I just listen to this and I'm really in love with this band. And then I'm going to watch the concert and probably it will stop after that. But but really they make our life different. I don't know, they make part of our life. But anyways, what was the question you made to him? Because I want to come back to it.
Yeah, popular music and we today not being concert music.
Yeah.
And how it is maybe different in the way
for me
what we expect from
for me it's obvious, because if I want to make people dance, or at least give them that space, it's possible to be sitting and dance. Although I think in the future I would like to play in theaters, but that's a different atmosphere. Well, maybe not so danceable, but that's a different topic. For now, well, that's not possible. Concert music to me. Also, genre-wise, and that's not our fault that they don't gather more genres in the same venues. But yeah, there's also that. They normally have this type of music in concert music, and well, we cannot be there.
So if you were to write for music for a theatre hall, you would write differently?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, definitely. At least the structure and repetition. I think so. Well, that's a big question now. Give me time, like a year or two, at least.
I think at least the interesting thing about today, the festival, is that we all come from a classical background. The Bela not, but Bela's coming from, it's interesting because you're coming from the popular background into the classical background, and we both come from a classical background into a popular background. And it's not like, well, I don't know about you, but I'm not leaving that behind just because I do also this. And they kind of, it's interesting because for the past years they've been growing a bit together, a bit more. So
you mean the classical?
Not the classical,
I didn't.
But maybe the ways of composing come together.
Yeah, a bit more. Yeah. Let's say concert music, that's a better term, I guess.
I would be super interested because of, actually this is something what Wim Hendricks, my teacher, always asked me for, kind of, because I have these two worlds. You saw one of them. And there's definitely a new world and next world to explore. Let's call it the classical side. He asked me kind of to combine that. And I would be super interested also because you have this classical background. How do you combine that? Or when you say it comes together more, what is coming together?
I don't really do it unconsciously. It's for me. It's hard to avoid my orchestral background or my violin background. But but indeed, and also my intuition maybe was developed because of that, and unconsciously you're using your intuition in that way and that tools. Well, and you didn't know or you don't know. I don't know.
Guys, we have one last question, I think, from the audience, and it is directed to Bela, and it's really much connected to what you just said. So, the answer might be close. the question is, how do you switch between the two different worlds and genres that you have in your work?
Who asked that?
That was Ardir Ramin.
Ah, I know this guy. Yes, actually, this is a super interesting question, because it is because of, I really explored in my last year of my last studies something what I was confronting my audience with, like really confronting them, like literally being in the audience and speaking to them while the concert, and like asking them questions, inviting them for conversations, and building that into music again. So like trying to have a expressionist attitude to let people view my music, like maybe the opposite what we saw of you today, like this impressive world. It was for me impressive world, and my expressive world, like here it is. And yes, I really feel that my background of popular and jazz music, and connected to so many jam sessions and evenings, like with someone wrote an instrument, and we always did groove music because it was so easy to rap about it, above it, or to start a groove in E minor. It's always good, you know? And like this was always a super important part of my world. But I also wanted this confrontation, and wanted to go to the audience and say, hey, what do you think about this topic? Self-reflect, here it is. And I think this is what is this a word? Apartens it?
Puts it apart.
Puts it apart, thank you. Like the one moment where I really enjoyed to be together with other musicians and grab the flow and try to leave so much space for the other person, which is in my ensemble maybe I'm playing with, and try to put salt to his sayings, to his topics, and really give a fundament with a drum set or a piano. And the other thing is like really, now this is my topic, I have it here, and I want to give it to you, and I want to reflect with you together. What do you think about this topic? So maybe this is the diverse side there.
Mm. Yeah. We had different comparisons between two things. I'm getting a sign. We have one more question. Let me see. Question for David: how it is to play a piece of another contemporary composer while you are a composer yourself?
That's fine.
I would.
Why is this a question? Why would it be a problem? Or why? Or
it was an honest question.
Like what is this contemporary classical music?
No, I mean, I'm a bandmate. That's my role in this project. I do my best, and that's it.
And you have fun, no?
Yeah, I have a lot of fun.
Did you see him? Like?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. I'm not a composer every waking moment of the day. I do other things.
And not 24/7. I thought that was our lifestyle.
Maybe yours. I even have written down on my whiteboard, you are a composer.
Yeah, well, you're wise.
You don't have it.
No, I don't have it. No.
Okay, guys. I
But,
think this is a good.
Well, maybe I should.
Yes.
Maybe I should.
Why do you think? Because I just talked about this division, and now you say it's a division between being a band member and being a composer. It's so interesting. But I think we have to. I don't know.
Well,
I think
one
there's
last thing
always
I can say
overlap,
is that I mean, if you everything that you do informs the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
One thing.
It's
informs
always
the other.
overlapping, I suppose.
Yeah, and you have certain ways of thinking that kind of go through every activity you do, and that doesn't change. Like, just the task changes, but I think the way I approach the task, whatever it may be, remains the same. So then, I think it's more of an attitude thing. It's like I approach composition with the same attitude that I approach piano playing,
or mixing or whatnot. So
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Okay, so I think, yes, we'll wrap it up here on the question, is a composer 24/7? Thank you also very, very much for tuning in. And we will be back tomorrow and the day after. Please check out the website, composerfestival.nl, for all the information about that. And also, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook under New Music Arena. We are online and you can follow us. So please do. And then I wish you now a very, very, very nice evening. I hope you enjoyed the music and our thoughts. And then see you next time.